welcome back to the Outdoor Talk Podcast. We are
live.
Ready. We are live, yeah, but we are ready for the season to start. We got 2 days.
Man, two
days. So by the time you are listening to this, we have already been in the stand a couple times probably. So
Hopefully. Rain in the forecast.
we got rain in the forecast, but we need this rain. We have food plots out with seeds sitting on dirt, dry.
Yeah.
No rain. We planted the seed because we had a chance of rain, and when we get a chance of rain, it's better than to try to put the seed in the ground than not. So, hey, look who just showed up.
The one.
I am the Outdoor Talk.
You want to get on? Hop on. Get on the podcast with us. We got a special guest coming on. Ben, come sit down.
Ben Cobb.
Come here.
Is the mic on? There it is.
There it is.
Yes, sir.
There it is. So you want to be about 4 fingers from the mic. Just make it good sounding. Something like that. So Ben just joined us on the podcast. He
Yes,
walked
sir.
up in the lair, and he's like, what are y'all doing? He's like, I am the Outdoor Talk Podcast. Now you're on the Outdoor Talk Podcast.
It's an honor.
It's an honor.
It's an honor.
Yes, sir.
Drinking Topo Chico.
Topo Chico. You know what
Yes,
Topo
sir.
Chico means in Spanish?
Looked
I
it
looked
up.
it up.
You told me the other day. I forgot.
Little mole. We're drinking Little Mole with lime.
Mole, mole,
It
mole, mole,
sounds
mole.
super
Gonna
strange
chop
when you
it up
say
and
it,
make some
too.
guacamole.
Wha-
You're a Scene Gold member?
No.
Anyways, okay. Austin Powers Gold member, like,
Yeah.
mole. Anyway. Well, we are so excited for the season to start here in a couple of days. I know Ben is. Ben went out. You shot your bow today, didn't you? You went out and shot.
I did. I shot today. I'll tell you what the best part of hunting season is.
What?
Is I've got a good brother, and he goes out and puts corn out. He's got his cameras out. I look at what's on his camera, and I go hunt his spots. Best part about it.
And I cut your arrows down for you and fletch them and everything.
By the way, I lost an arrow today. I need another one.
I got 3 more out there for you. I already fixed you up.
Dang.
I guess I
Got
am a
the
good brother.
hookup.
I know. I even gave him broadheads. I gave him a bow.
Hey, but that's the good part about doing it yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I know the ins and outs, and I know his bow because I know how to work on it because it used to be my old bow, and I gave it to him and I upgraded. And so I know how to work on that bow. So you pretty much, I mean, you're set. Like, you don't need anything else unless you ever
Golden.
want to upgrade.
You got any
But-
good buck pictures on your camera?
I've got a big buck. Nelson's got the same buck on camera.
Yeah.
We
call them hands.
May or may not have came from his camera. No, I'm just kidding. But
You did get hands on your camera.
I did get hands on my camera.
He's like,
and
he's a
it's,
6 or 7 year old deer that we've had on camera since like 2018. And when he was in 2018, he was like probably 2 or 3. He's
Yeah.
pretty old deer.
Pretty cool. One of his on his left side beam, it kind of forks out like a hand. Looks pretty cool.
You ever seen Scary Movie and the guy's like, "This is my strong hand." That's what we he kind of
You
looks.
got to explain it. Explain what this guy does.
He's like, he just got like this little messed up hand. He like digs around mashed potatoes. Anyway, but anyways, I mean, I'm sure y'all seen the guy, but that's I saw it and I was like, we got to call him Hands because he's like the guy. But anyways, but yeah, Ben's got some. You got like 4 or 5 bucks on camera, like new ones now. That are they're young deer, but they're on their feet now. They're moving around. The bucks are
Oh, yeah.
Still grouped up.
still grouped up, but they don't have velvet right now, and they're starting to move. So that's good. But yeah, back on the bow. I gave Ben a bow, and then I gave him some arrows last year.
Yeah.
And he goes out, goes to the target, and just like groups them, and then splits one down the middle. After I
Dang.
just handed it to him,
Dang.
and then he goes out and shoots 2 does.
There it is.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about it is today I was out shooting with some buddies from work, and I was telling them how shooting a bow is a lot like just riding a bike. For me, I just go out there and I just do it, and I'm right on. And it's funny because I walked up to the target, I shot a couple arrows, and I was perfect. But we went down some trails, started shooting some 3D targets,
Oh, that's cool. You went
Yeah.
to the range,
Yeah.
like the little Archers for Christ range. Cool.
and started shooting those 3D targets. And the first one, they both shot, and we see who can shoot the best on each target. First target comes around, of course, I shoot the best. So I get to talking. Oh man, this is like riding a bike. I don't even shoot very often.
He's getting
It's the first
cocky.
first time I've shot in a month, and I was just cracking up with them. And we get walking through this course, and I progressively get worse and worse and worse, and they're beating me. we get to like target number 5 or 6. I mean, there's 20 targets, but we get to 5 or 6, and I'm not kidding you. I thought it was an elk. It was about 40 yards downrange. I couldn't see the head of it, so I thought just a big body. I was like, oh, it's just like a short elk or something. It turns out it's a freaking tiger. And we're 37 yards away from it, and my buddy's got a rangefinder. They both shoot. Of course, I'm last, so we go in order. Whoever shoots, best has to shoot first. Well, of course, at that time, I'm last to shoot, and I get up there and I'm talking smack. Oh, good, it's a big target. I'm gonna smoke it. 37 yards away. I don't know what happened. I shot under it by like a foot, lost my arrow, and then I had to watch them shoot the rest of the time because I only brought one arrow.
Dang.
So
Yeah. Well, I got you 3 of them right there, cut down, ready to roll. And I told you where they were at. So
yep, I just didn't have time today. So
yeah.
You have a quiver on your bow, by chance?
I do.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Just down to one arrow, though?
No, I had multiple arrows. Only had one field tip, and they only allow field tips.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Dang.
Nobody
had extras for you?
They had some extras, but I didn't want to lose their stuff either. My peep sight's moving like a ½ inch up and down.
Dang.
And I don't know if that's what's causing me to be
that
off.
could
I'm
definitely-
not saying that it's definitely not like riding a bike. It's something you do have to practice at and be routine with. But
after he's done being cocky, he realizes that.
yeah.
Well, hey, preparation's a huge part of it.
Yeah, it is. Definitely you gotta prepare. You need to shoot that bow as much as you can. Get used to it and notice those things like your peep sight moving. So we can come up here and tie it in tighter so it doesn't move on you, because that could throw your arrow off a lot.
Yeah.
Because it changes your anchor point, because you're gonna have to come down a little ways to make your peep sight, or up a little ways to just align your peep sight right.
Yeah.
So you're throwing your anchor point off. So that could definitely make you miss.
Yeah, I'm definitely not an expert at it, but I do think that you can overshoot as well.
Oh, 100%. You
I
can
don't know.
make
I
it.
think if you go out and shoot, a quiver full of arrows, and if you're good, hey, stop. But
Always end on a good note.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good way to do it. But you're right. You can overdo it. I mean, I don't know. You can,
As long as you're concentrating, pretty much.
yeah.
Like, if you shoot 20 times out there, like, when you get to 15, you're probably not going to take as much time and effort to make sure
Yeah.
you're
I
doing
did
what you need
notice
to
that
do.
as I was going through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
just throwing it up there and shooting and not taking my time, and that probably had a lot to do with it.
I mean,
as
if,
Yeah.
if you're not hitting the spot that you're wanting to hit, you're getting discouraged, and then you're getting worn out, you're getting tired. I mean, I'm pulling 60 pounds. I'm sure you are pulling the same, if not more. And you pull 60 pounds 20 times, you're like, all right, man, like, I'm going to go in, take a little break or whatever. So there's a lot of variables into it.
Oh, yeah,
Or that
for
go
sure.
into it, at least.
Yeah, definitely. And your trigger could be like your squeeze on your pull of your trigger.
Yeah.
Anything. There's a number of different things in archery that could throw your deal off a little bit. But like you said, you can overdo it. Like, I mean, there's also, like, you can nerd out on it, or you can just go out there and just be good enough to
Yeah.
shoot, like a vitals. And instead of like grouping them into a quarter, you can go out there and be decent and make good shots within like a paper plate or something and still be fine
Yep.
with killing an animal.
So I don't know a whole lot about bows and stuff, but one of the guys I work with, he did have he called it a nose button.
yeah, I've seen those.
I'm not
It's like a
exactly
new
sure what
thing.
that is, but he had one tied onto his string, and you just butt your nose right up to it, and it makes sure you're at the same point on your string every time.
Yeah,
So
that's
you
the
can be
same
more
thing. It's
consistent.
kind of like a
That is
kisser
pretty
button.
cool. Yeah.
Like a kisser button you put on the corner of your mouth, a nose button you put at the tip of your nose.
Okay.
See what I do? I put the tip of my nose to my string, right on the string. I anchor in the same spot on my jawbone right here with my hand, like between I split my 2 fingers on my handheld release. On my jawbone, my nose touches the screen, so the string. So there's 2 points, and then I line up my peep sight on the housing of my bow. I mean, on my sight. I line it up perfectly, so that's 3 anchor points. So if I line those up, I make the same shot every time.
There it is.
As long as I have a single pins on a slider, so as long as it's up in like the right yardage, I'm good.
Yeah.
So
So I mean, I'm pretty good with the bow. I'm as long as the tiger doesn't walk out, I'll be fine.
at 37 yards,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know you're shooting the wrist strap release.
Yeah.
Do you plan on switching over to?
I've shot Nelson's bow with his release, and I really do like it. Just something to get used to, I guess. But at this
Yeah.
point, no, I don't plan on switching over until
Okay.
I probably will look at a new bow in the future.
he sounds like a guy that's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
You know, just shoot.
well, see, Nelson's the kind of guy also to where the new stuff comes out, he wants to upgrade. And
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with his bow, so I could probably buy it pretty cheap off him.
About I'm not gonna say a price right now because I did that one time. One time, Ben was like, I had this old 4-wheeler. I could not get this sucker fixed.
No, it wasn't an old 4-wheeler. It was like a 2012, and at this time, it was like 2015. And
It's old.
well, I mean,
It was
a
2015. It was probably 2018.
No, it was probably 2015.
I would say it was at least 6 years old, 7 years old.
No, I bought a 2015 4-wheeler with that money. That nice. All right. So, anyways, back to the story.
3 years old, whatever.
Nelson had a 4-wheeler that he had some troubles with it, fuel pump issues, and he just took it and sat it in the barn. Nothing was wrong with it. It was actually a Grizzly 700. Other than the fuel pump, he didn't know that. I didn't know that either at the time. I just walked past it one day, called him up, said, "Hey, you gonna do anything with this 4-wheeler?" He said, "No, why?" I said, "Well, I'll give you $800 for it."
I said, deal.
He just popped off straight away, deal.
No
So
way.
I went straight.
Dude, I worked on this sucker forever. I thought it was like a wiring issue, like
Yeah.
with the like a rats or something, or like the computer. I swapped out I had a guy come out and look at it that worked at a 4-wheeler shop, and he couldn't figure it out.
I mean,
Really?
he even put a new computer on it. He
We
put a new
put-
battery,
Dang.
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we checked the ohms on the fuel pump to see if it had like continuity between everything, and like make sure it was had is a good fuel pump. It kicked on and everything, but it wasn't good enough apparently.
Yeah.
Dang.
So, it'd been sitting in the barn for, I don't know, what did you say, 6-8 months?
No, longer than that.
Longer than that. I mean, it'd been sitting there a
Like
while.
at least
About
a year.
Yeah, and it was a good 4-wheeler. So I pulled it out and immediately went and got the cash, took it to Nelson before he could back out on the field. Went and got the cash, gave it to him, went and got my 4-wheeler, pulled it over here. I worked on it for maybe a week. Just time, I was still in high school at the time, and so after school I just worked on it.
Yeah.
And I put a new battery on it. I actually put a new motor on the fuel pump. Didn't actually buy a new fuel pump. I didn't want to spend the money for a fuel pump. Fuel pump was like $300, and the motor you could buy it on Amazon for, I don't know, it was like $40. So I put a new
that's a
motor
snag.
on the
That's
fuel
a
pump.
deal.
So he put maybe what $50 in.
I put $300 in that 4-wheeler.
The
So I
battery,
had $1,100 in the 4-wheeler. Battery, motor. I put
Still not
battery,
bad.
a fuel pump motor, and then I
You
put
haven't got to the best part.
I put
Let's
like,
hear.
I forget a cap on it for the spark plugs, and all of a sudden, boom, crank right up.
Really?
Yes, Nelson
No
come
issues?
home. I'm riding it through the yard like he's pissed off at this point.
I'm not pissed off.
But
I didn't care.
So
I made the deal with him. He just popped off when I was like, "Oh, deal, whatever." I'm done with that 4-wheeler. I'm tired of dealing with it. Yeah, I come home, he's out there riding, doing wheelies and all this thing. It's nice, like a brand new 4-wheeler.
yeah, running great. And I took it a couple days later and I just threw it on Swap Shop, like $3,500. Okay, well.
Dang.
I had $1,100 in it,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I knew I could just make a little bit of profit. I didn't really care what I'd make, but I knew I could make something. And
little bit of
somebody
profit.
popped off, "Hey, I'll give you $2,500 for it."
Yeah.
I said, "No, whatever." Well, we ended up working out a deal, $2,800, and I sold it in like 3 or 4 days after I posted it.
Dang.
So I'd had the 4-wheeler for a couple weeks, and just
It's
me
a
riding it. I enjoyed it myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I made a couple.
Welcome to the
couple
outdoor
grand.
talk when we flip 4-wheelers for a living.
Yeah,
This sucker right here, I told him that's probably the best deal you're gonna find. You steal something from your brother and sell it.
Dang.
No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, if I wouldn't have it, it'd still be sitting out there.
I guarantee you.
So it's going to lose value out there, or I'll just make some quick money off my brother.
Yeah. And then he bought another 4-wheeler,
Yeah.
and that's a great 4-wheeler, yellow Honda.
Yeah, I took some of that money. I actually bought a new 4-wheeler with it. So that was a good 4-wheeler. And then, so my brother's got a tendency of riding my stuff, and it just breaks. I'm not saying that he breaks it, but
He
all of a
just
sudden that
Squished him in the dirt today. ain't he?
it just breaks.
Dang. Throwing him under the bus.
I rode this
But-
4-wheeler. Every time I touch anything he's got, I can go out there brand new and just touch it, like put my finger on it, and something's gonna break.
Yeah. So
No, that's what happened.
Speaking of Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what
I
happened
do.
Saturday?
Nothing happened Saturday.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah.
You can go ahead and break the bad news to him now, if you'd like.
Oh, your little cedar, little hand cedar.
Yeah, the one I bought from Matt Woods.
It don't work. It's like
He broke it.
no, I was just
No,
seeding with it,
no,
and it
he's
just stopped
seeding.
working.
Just stop, though.
I don't know.
Cold turkey.
I found another one. I'll give it to you. Remember the time I had one?
Well, that one,
But
you know how
you-
much that one cost me?
How much?
$8.
Okay, that makes you feel a little better about it then.
Yeah, I'll buy you a beer.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I just want to let you know that I broke that.
No,
look at this sucker right here.
got him.
Yeah, so he's gonna buy me a beer
Dang.
now. 'cause
What's
I
a little
would-
brother for right there,
Wow.
man? You know, he's gonna make me feel so bad about something I didn't do.
No, but the four wheeler you did tear up my Honda, and
I did not tear up the Honda.
Okay, so he called me one day, hey, and he always made him call me before he drove my stuff because I'm telling you, if he didn't call me and he touched
Yeah.
it broke.
Oh.
And so I was at college, and he was out of college this time, so he was back at the house. He was going to hunt. He called me, hey, can I drive your four wheeler down to the back to go sit in the stand? Yeah, sure, whatever. Just don't tear it up.
Yeah, don't break
You
it.
know? Yeah, don't tear it up. He calls me about midway. This four wheeler, it just died. I'm like, what do you mean it just died? It doesn't just die. It's a brand new four wheeler, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm extremely hard on my own stuff.
Yeah.
I buy it. I'm extremely hard on it.
It did just die.
It's whatever,
I literally
but-
drove it down there and it was putting like some bad gas in it or something, and I had to walk back.
Yeah. So he had walked back. He left my four wheeler out there for a week.
I did not live for a week.
Until I could come in that next weekend.
Oh no.
It was out there in the field, which is fine, whatever. It was just a four wheeler, but they're meant to be outside. But I bring it back to the house, break it down, start working on it. Cannot figure out what's wrong with it. He's right. It'll crank up and then it'll die or it'll just turn over. And it's getting gas, getting spark, got air. So I didn't know what the problem was. I ended up taking it to the shop. Shop told me they put a battery on it. They put something else. I don't know what all they put on it, but it cost me a couple $100 at the shop. Well, I got it out of the shop, running great. All of a sudden, blah, starts doing it again.
You
So
know
I
what?
fixed it up as best I could.
Yeah, then I buy it from him for $800. I'm just kidding.
No, yeah.
No.
Tables turned.
No, I did have a couple issues out of it afterwards, but I did end up selling it. I thought I had all the issues worked out on it, but
So it wasn't me.
turns out I guess I didn't have all the issues worked out on it because after I sold it, the guy I sold it to was calling me, hey, you sold me a piece of crap. all
Yeah,
this
he
stuff.
could be
Well, I
listening to
didn't-
the podcast. This is online.
That's fine. I mean, I didn't mean to screw you over, buddy, but I got my $5,000 and I was out. So
No hard feelings here
Ruthless.
on the outdoor
Yeah.
talk.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Well, interesting. I'm just ready to shoot some deer.
Hey.
Next thing you know, I'm going to go touch being stand. It's going to fall out of the tree or something.
Hey, easy now, easy. We don't need that to happen.
I know. Or the trees.
I like how we're well, that's just a barrel. Never mind.
Hey, but speaking of stands, we did some work this weekend. Hung a stand out at my place, and tell us what you did out at place east of town.
Went out there and
Okay.
it's already ready to go.
Yeah.
I didn't procrastinate this year. I got everything done that I needed to. Like I told you on the podcast, as soon as we started this sucker, I think when like our first or second podcast, we said, don't procrastinate, guys. Get out there and get the work done now, so you're not waiting till the last minute like this old boy right across the table from me.
Well, we are expecting some rain this week, hopefully. It was supposed to rain today. Better chance tomorrow. I've got seed in the ground. Food plot should be coming up if we do get some rain. It's what we need. So.
Yeah. I planted these for being.
No, you did not.
I did do a food plot down there. Oh,
I
you
planted my own food
Oh, you
plot.
did? Oh.
Yes.
That's new. I didn't know that.
So you have another food plot down there now?
Yeah.
You have two.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I guess he planted one too. So
Where'd you plant yours?
Back behind the slough. So I've got a big 4x8
right.
box stand back there.
Okay, okay.
And then
did you plant the whole pasture or did you just do the little trail?
No, just a trail up there by
Okay.
my tree stand.
Yeah.
So I've got that box stand back there. I need to take back there and put that feeder up by my box stand.
Yeah.
But I've also got a tree stand off in the woods, and that's where I put the food plot on. It's kind of like a pinch point inside the woods. The deer come from the north side when they travel to the south side in the evenings, and or vice versa. They go from north to south
Yeah.
in the mornings, and then
Well, they bed closer
yeah, so
closer towards this way, towards the north. They bed this way, and then they go back in the. I take that back. They bed in the south and come to the north at night to feed.
at night.
Yes,
Yep.
that's right. So
But it's kind of a pinch point in the woods,
Yeah.
and those deer they travel through there a lot. So you can catch them traveling through there.
that's one good thing
Pretty
about being on this property for so long. We know how the deer are traveling.
Yeah.
Year after year, they do the same patterns. They might not be on the same trail, but
Right.
they do the same north-south patterns. They bed in the south down there, and then they come north to feed at night in the evenings. So it's pretty cool.
So back to my bow, my peep sight. It's moving a lot. I need you to tie it back in for me.
I got you, buddy.
Okay.
That's what I'm here for. Older brother, take care of my little brother.
There it is.
You mess with him, you mess with me. You mess
Hey,
with him,
oh, speaking of
mess
that,
with me,
I
you mess
know
with
I
him.
know it's gone into a little rabbit hole, but once you tell them about that one time y'all went down to the beach and somebody picked on Ben.
Nah, we're not going to tell that story.
No,
on this
come
podcast.
on.
No, it's all right. That'd take us a long time.
Dang.
And,
I picked on Mary.
yeah, he was
But-
picking on Mary. Was it Mary or was it
Yeah.
one of Mary's friends?
I don't know.
And then they messed with Ben. But anyways,
Dang.
a little fight happened on the beach, and that was not fun. That was a expensive little fight. Had to go to the doctor and get some stitches,
But we whooped them.
but we whooped him.
Nelson got some stitches, but we whooped them. All right, that's all we're
Yeah.
going to talk about that.
All right, well, I'm ready for the season. Got a couple days.
I am too.
Tanner,
Let's get it.
you ready?
Yep.
Are you gonna get up there and stick you a doe open in a day, or are you gonna shoot you a buck, or what,
I don't know.
what's going on?
I'm gonna hold off. Maybe
Okay.
the first morning. Just go sit. I
All
don't
right.
know. But if one a good one walks in, I'm gonna freaking bust him. Try
Yeah.
to at least.
Well, by the time y'all hear this podcast, we should have a couple sets in, and maybe something might happen. You never know. Wish us
Have
luck.
no idea.
Y'all have good luck too. The season's just now beginning, so we got a long season ahead of us. Both seasons start here in Northeast Texas, or Texas in general, I guess. So I'm excited. I feel like we're gonna have a good season. So
Let's go shoot.
let's go. Thank y'all for listening to this podcast. Please thank y'all for listening to this podcast. Please leave us a review on iTunes and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.